Hello learners, welcome again. Today in this second session of You Too Can, we'll follow the approach, the thing we follow, principles. Rather than deriving the answers at this thing itself, and 2 is our attack point approach. The way we need to approach it, and even this particular that people thought in which were in CSAT 2023, you will see just how easily they can be solved by following principles and by using our attack point approach. All simple principles. Now let's start. So normally people, this is a relatively easy question. What people do is they just start solving taking each statement and solving whether they get an order or not. Let's follow a different way, an easier way and efficient way, where the process is itself reproducible. Suppose this year they gave this, next year if they change, instead of 1 to 1, if they give a relation between 2 or 3 people, what are you going to do? You are taking and solving question as it is doesn't give us principles. So let's deal this through common basic general principles. See how many people are here: A, B, C, D, E and F. So 6 people are here. 6. So generally think, take a step back and think, how many equations or relative to one person to other, how many statements are required to determine everybody's position? If you are getting confused, just see here. Position of one person with respect to other. Okay. Now take the same way. To describe his position, we need a relative position of his. So one statement. So on and so forth. So for 6 people, how many statements do you require? It is always 6 minus 1. So 5. This is the principle. Now apply this. How many people are here? 6 people. And we need, and how many people are being discussed in each statement? It is one guy relative to another guy. Same here. One guy relative to another guy. One guy relative to another guy. Even E is the youngest. A common statement here. It shows all these people, instead of comparing with this guy, we are comparing with whole people, telling that. So it is also giving a reference of 1 versus 1. How many statements do you need? Easily all 5. Okay. If one statement had 2 or 3 people compared to it. This. Okay. So even if you do it the same, even if you think taking each statements and verifying across them, knowing each position, it is good. But this is a better way of approach, a reproducible approach. Even next time you get any difficult problems like this, you can easily solve this. And not only reproducible, it is easy too. Okay. Next. Now we are into odd or even. Okay. We all know the rules of odd or even. Particularly here given is addition. A short trick for you. Hearts those rules and the addition rules. Everybody by hearts those and gets that. Instead of I'm going to give you a visualization trick where odd and even become an intuitive sense to you. For example, consider any odd number as having a projection. and consider any even number having a flat square. This is odd and even thinking a flat square. Okay. Now, what is odd plus odd? To add the projection, flat is top, it will be even. Is even plus even. Since the flat is already top, even plus even becomes even. And what is odd plus even? Only in this case does we get a projection as a resultant. Okay. So, this is odd. Got an intuitive sense? Now, let us apply this here. And again, here, either can solve it taking example. There are hundreds of YouTube channels where they tell you this, taking some examples and prove, but more efficient way, and bear with me. What has he conveyed here? He is telling it definitely even. So, in order to prove him wrong, what we need to do? We need to prove only in one instant it is wrong or right. Then it won't be definite. Okay. So, if you see definite or statements, especially in reasoning, try to prove the case that is opposite. So, this will be our attack point. Now, all I need to do is just prove one case where this is definitely not even. Now, take any of the numbers P, Q, R, take any numbers P, Q, R. If this is even, this is even, and this is even, and S and T are odd. Okay. Although it is subtraction, when seeing these properties, both the results for the subtraction and addition are the same. So, even plus even, always, no matter the number of even digits you add, you will always get an even digit. Okay. Next, since two of them are odd, what do you even number? No matter how many permutations you take, instead of taking each single sample, consider this principle wise, see it in a different lens, take it principle. No matter whatever the position you take, this will definitely be even, and this is always even too. So, even plus even will always be even. Hardly 30 seconds if you know the formula and apply. Next, see here. Now, let me make this clear. 2p plus q plus 2r plus 2c is definitely odd. So, on our attack point, if we are able to prove that this will be even in some of the other cases, then we can prove that this is false. Okay. Now, for this to be proven even, we know that 2p will always be even, 2p will always be even, and 2s will always be even. So, in order to prove that this will be even, what I will do is, I will see that p and r are allotted odd numbers. So, even though this is odd, 2p becomes even. Even though this is odd, r is odd, I will take this as even. So, what happens now? This 2r, although it is r is odd, 2r is even, this is even. So, by principle, this can be even in the particular case where we have seen. So, statement 2 is wrong and statement 2 is right. All matter of applying. This principle will be discussed in any one of the first classes in number system. It is that easy. So, which of the statement only. Next. There odd and even, here prime and composite. Let us primes, composite. Instead of going and doing specific examples, just consider the principles. If your principles or basics are correct, these all are just a matter of under a minute problems. Many types of prime number. Prime number can be odd, even, and the least number. Meaning all 3, 5, 7, 11, all are odd, are primes. Okay. Composite. Composite also there are cases. There are even composites 4, 6, and there are odd 15. So, to give you a basic definition, prime numbers are those which have only two factors, 1 and themselves. Composite numbers are those which have more than 2 factors. Okay. Now apply this here. P plus C, P minus C can be even. So here same attack point can be, that means if I prove that correct, same way P plus C can be even. Okay. What is 8 by 4? 2. So, if I am able to prove even in one case P plus C and P, okay, now let's see, is there 2? Is there an even composite number? Yes, we have. Same. There is an even, there is an then composite prime 2. So, in the last case it was definite. Here in this case it can be even. So, even one possibility. What do you need from the principles? Odd plus an even. Even. Okay. The prime number is always even, no matter if P is prime or composite. If you multiply by 2, it becomes even. Can C be an odd? Can a composite number be exist as odd? Yes, definitely. 9 exists, 15 exists. PC. For PC to be odd, you need to multiply 2 odd numbers. Does odd? Definitely. Does odd composite exist? Definitely too. So, all 3. Instead of going into specifics and then force fitting them into the equation, deal with principles. These are basic principles. Just follow them, it becomes simple. Next. Solved at least 10 questions, and none of these, if you know the basics principles and you know where to attack, as I showed in until now, these are all under 1 minute problems. Now, there are n number of solutions where people take whatnot and trying to force fit the answer after coming out of the exam. Now, the same way we have done the previous questions, we will do this the same way by focusing on the basic principles and attack point. Now, What has he told us? He needs the value of ABC, and for that what has he given us? He has told us that ABC into D gives you 37. Now it becomes difficult. Now you understand why I asked you to focus on principles, because if you want to go into specific, just rearrange this ones. When you see a question, don't rush to it. Find that. We get this. Suppose 8 into 2 gives 16. How do I get 8 from 16? What I do is 16 by 2 gives 8. Okay. Multiplication in one case reverses and becomes division. I express this the same way. 37DD by gives rise to ABC. Now, you see the advantage of searching for, it gives you clarity first, and not what do you all need to find? It is, if you find D, if you have a base, we know that whatever be the number, no, further simplifying it, we know that divisibility rules where 2 can be, if it is divisible by 4, then the whole is probably 4 has a certain connection here. So try it. 3744 divided by 4. 3 and 6, 936. But apart from this way, you go in any other way, it leads to complications. Sometimes you may get, I am not telling that you will go through by guess, but instead of shooting into the dark, is this not an educated guess? Is this where answer is more probable? Before every an attack point approach, so the answer is plus 6. It is kind of PYQ questions. They deal it so common. They just give you the answer. If you consider it by 4, you will get 936. No. We'll deal it no matter the question. We'll deal it only by using 2 principles: attack point and the basics. Okay, it is that easy to. Okay, now has led in a box. He ran from the box to get a red pair of shoes. Good. What is the maximum number? So our attack points are a pair, because one shoe is not sufficient for us. We need to get a pair and the maximum number. Okay. Now, since he has asked us for maximum, see, 10 pairs of red, 9 pairs of white, and 8 pairs. Okay. Now let us assume that before picking up these red pairs, he has used up, because our maximum and a pair. So how many attempts can he pick up? In all those attempts, he can finish both white and black shoes, because we need maximum number of attempts. He needs to get this thing. Now 9 into 2 plus 8 into 2. So 18 plus 16, 34. So after 34, maximum 34 number of attempts, he can come anywhere near red shoes. Now 10 left shoes and 10 right shoes. What we need to make here is a pair. Same way like we all done the previous problems, attack point and basic principles. Because once you follow this process, it becomes a second nature to you. You need not guess, you need not force fit random equations or random numbers into whatever they give you. If he chooses all 10 pairs, all 10 left shoes, it becomes 44. Now for him, because by this 44 attempts, all shoes have been finished. Now the only shoes that are remaining is 10 right, and even if he picks one, he will form a red pair. Okay, so now 45. What is the max he has to make? After making 45 attempts at the maximum possible, a pair of red shoes. So 45 is the answer. That simple it is. In the previous 2 sessions that we have dealt with, these are some of these questions were considered rather difficult by many people, but I have time and again shown you, if you stick to the process and if your basic principles are correct, these all are under a minute problems, easily solvable. Hope this session has been both informative and entertaining. We'll meet with another set of problems. Thank you.